Among the requirements for advanced life on a planet in our universe is the necessity for a huge moon. Our moon meets the requirements and it does some amazing things for us. Our moon is 52 times bigger than the mean average ratio of a moon to a planet. That's amazing statistically. You talk about an outlier, that's an enormous outlier. And the only way scientists believe that could happen is that while these two, that smaller planet and we were forming and spinning, we collided in space. Not so fast that things disintegrate or whatever, but we collided in space, and part of that planet broke off, became part of the Earth, and the other part we grabbed in our orbit, and that became our moon. Now that collision did a few things. It tilted our axis so that instead of spinning sideways, we now spin at a more ideal 23.5 degrees. That's incredible, because what that does with the rays of the sun, it gives us a better dispersion of temperature, it gives us a more ideal climatological existence here on Earth. Then it slowed our spin rate down, and it does a much better job of sustaining our tilt and leading to encouraging the tectonics and the tidal activity that continues to produce life and continues to sustain life on this planet. So it's really an amazing collision. It's an amazing moon, and it's about the only way we can end up grabbing something that big in our orbit and it doing for us what we need it to do. So when you look at all those characteristics, all those things that happen with that, we recognize just how unlikely it is anywhere else in the universe that that kind of a collision would happen with other planets with material that's that size that could accommodate all those requirements. So the moon is just one more example of interaction and influence from a God, because the probabilities of getting those kinds of happenings to occur along with all the other requirements for life in the universe are just astronomical. There's not enough stars in the universe to have that many chances to get that to happen along with all that else that's necessary. And so it's just one more example of a loving God that's prepared things. One last idea along with this is this, that if you look at the spin rate of Earth, it used to be faster. The spin rate of Earth was much faster. It led to greater surface winds and that sort of thing. Years and years ago would not be a good time to bring humans on the Earth. In the future, the spin rate of the Earth will continue to slow down. The moon will continue to slow it down. Various other factors, the sun itself will continue to slow it down. So in the future, life won't be possible. We'll slow down to the point where the temperature variation night and day is too great, and we'll see eventually a sterilization of the planet. So there's an ideal time to bring humans onto this planet in regard to the spin rate. Now, interestingly enough, if you looked at the many thousands of 100,000-year windows and when the best time to bring humans onto the planet would be, according to the spin rate of the Earth, it just so happens that it would be the very time that God chose to create humans on the planet. So in other words, it looks like, from a scientific perspective, that the God that created this universe 13.7 billion years ago, it took that long and things to happen on Earth with sulfate-reducing bacteria and the spin rate of the planet, it took until just within the last 100,000 years for things to be just right, and then it was time to bring humans onto the planet. So at just the right time, according to our spin rate, God brought humans onto the planet. Now let's look at the sun. And the requirements for a sun for life are very stringent. And so if we look at our sun and the age of it and the steady burning state and the luminosity of it, when would be the ideal time to bring humans onto the planet with regard to the conditions going on with our sun? Well, ironically, it's at the exact same time that the spin rate of planet Earth is ideal for humans to come onto the planet. So if you think about it from a probabilistic standpoint, it's pretty impressive that humans show up at the right time according to the spin rate and the length of days, and the right time according to the luminosity and steady burning state of the sun. So once again, we see more and more and more evidence of a God that's so loving, and he took so much time to prepare this planet, and then when the conditions were right, he brought us here. Oh, by the way, how about fossil fuels? How about dinosaurs and the necessity for large animal mass on the planet, and the fossil fuels that are in the planet waiting for humans? If God waited too long to create humans and bring them on the planet, a lot of those fossil fuels would convert to methane gas, which isn't as beneficial for us. So, oh, by the way, When's the ideal time to bring humans onto the planet in terms of the resources that are here for us? Once again, it's at the very time that God brought us onto the planet. So again, what science is discovering for us is some of the best evangelical information that you could possibly have. The universe declare God's glory, the heavens declare God's glory, and what we keep seeing over and over and over again is evidence of a patient, loving God preparing a place for us. And this is just the first life. Can you imagine what's waiting for us in the life to come?